But what I'd like to ask you now is about moving forward. So how do you look at this emerging world of technology, new capabilities that are coming in, new techniques, as I mentioned before, cognitive robotics, that's coming through, but even things just like experimental design and how do you actually bring those capabilities in when you've got so much already underway? How do you think about the way that you can build that in a sustainable way, but still looking for innovation? Rod, I might start with you from given that you've got that focus on both digital and the analytics. How do you guys look at that?
Look, our view broadly around technology, outside of data analytics, technology generally is obviously the rate and pace of change is continuing, and if anything, it's amplifying. So when we make decisions around, including data analytic technologies, but also, in fact, our whole marketing technology stack and product stack, we try to make decisions that are no regrets. So basically make decisions where we have a really clear view of, firstly, the strategy that we're pursuing. So why are we actually investing into these capabilities and processes or changes? A really clear view of our architecture. So what architecture will support the strategy that we're pursuing, and then make decisions in relation to the vendors, the partners, the technologies that we use, which are really robust. And we do that by, from a process perspective, making sure we have proofs of technology included in, and a lot of testing included into our rollout. So before we invest in sort of belts and braces technology solutions to, for instance, enable some of the personalisation I was talking about, we will go through and do a heap of multivariate and A/B testing and actually work out what in practice truly works with customers and what actually resonates with them. And that frames up a really clear view of the type of solutions that we want to bring to bear. And then from that point, we continue the testing, but it's really testing of tools and technology at that point. And it's through those proof of technology tests where we actually, in practice, determine whether or not the technologies that we think will meet those business needs will actually come to fruition in practice. And so, I mentioned before a single customer view and some of the investments similar to the iconic we've made in sort of enabling data infrastructure. Before we invested in the Big Bang solution, we put a proof of concept or proof of technology in place, and we actually ran it for 6 months and let the analysts at it, and we engineered it lightly into some of our product processes, created some microservices in our product, and actually determined whether or not, in sort of low risk scenarios, the technologies we were looking at would actually work in practice for us. And then we, from that point, moved on and actually embedding. So, I think the takeaway message is that if you believe that rate of change is going to continue in terms of the technologies that we're all dealing with, try and engineer them in a way that they are modular and you can sort of sub them in and out, and you can control the IP and the business rules and the data in your own system, so it gives you flexibility as new solutions come to bear, which they inevitably do, that you can take advantage of them. And it's there's certainly no bad thing if you sub in and out different solutions relatively rapidly every couple of years if they're going to better meet the needs you have.
Yep. Brett, you had something?
I couldn't support that more. It really is the correct way to approach the future of data and integrating technology into your business. It's we do the same sort of thing, multivariate testing. We use feature toggles for a lot of things as well, particularly with personalization. We try and evaluate what people want, and we do that using microservices architecture. I couldn't support that more, and I think that it's something that has to be done if you want to be able to iterate quickly, if you want to experiment and test what works and what doesn't work. It's not always quite that simple. Last year, I had to commit to one data warehouse technology because I had a very small team and I wanted to demonstrate value quickly. But there's always a way. There's always a way to break down your problem and experiment to a degree. So I think it's really, really important that people take that approach. And I don't think it necessarily sits on small businesses or medium businesses like the Iconic to do that. I honestly believe that you can do this in large enterprise corporations. You just need to focus on defining the problem space and breaking it down into chunks.